I'm Fred Frank. I'm actually a third generation of the family to manage the winery here at Dr. Frank's Vinifera Wine Cellars, overlooking beautiful Keuka Lake behind me. And we're here to taste some of our Rieslings. We've been making Riesling since 1962. Dr. Frank was actually a PhD in viticulture, and he was the first to introduce the noble European wine grape varieties to the eastern United States back in the 1950s. And that sparked a quality renaissance in New York wines. And right here in the Finger Lakes, Riesling is probably what we do best. It's a variety that has been #1 at Dr. Frank since 1962, both in terms of volume of wines produced and also acres of grapes and notoriety. And the reason Riesling is such a perfect fit for the Finger Lakes is severalfold. #1, the cool climate. Probably of all the viticultural areas in the United States, I would have to say that the Finger Lakes is the closest to Germany and Alsace, where the Riesling is originated, than any other part of the United States. So #1, the cool climate. Second of all, the soils. The Finger Lakes were produced by receding glaciers that deposited many different soil types throughout the area. So even on our farm behind me, we have a number of different soil types, and very steep slopes going down to Keuka Lake and rocky soils. Now, we also own vineyards on Seneca Lake, and those soils are quite different. There are deeper, loamy soils. And Riesling, probably more than any other grape variety, is very expressive of the soil type where it's grown, meaning the flavors from the Riesling wine differ depending on the soil where the grapes are grown. And so we're going to start off with the dry Riesling, and the dry Riesling is basically from our Keuka Lake vineyards, where we have very rocky soils. We have a lot of shale in the soils, and we believe that this contributes partly to a mineral character in the wine. Wine writers describe it as minerality, and this works very nicely in the drier style of Riesling. So I'm going to take a glass here, and has wonderful aromas, and you pick up sort of that mineral character, which works nicely in the dry style. Now, this wine has won a bunch of awards. We submit our wines to competitions all over the country. One of the most prestigious is right in Los Angeles, called the Los Angeles International Wine Competition. And there the judges, tasting wines blind from all over the world, gave this wine a 94 rating, which really makes us proud, being a small winery in New York, that the judges out in California would deem this as one of the top Rieslings of the whole competition. And it's priced very reasonably at under $15 a bottle. So this would make a great wine to go with food or as a sipping wine. You could enjoy this with fish or with poultry dishes. And so that's our dry Riesling, and it's kind of our benchmark wine. Moving up the sweetness ladder, we come to our value line, which is Salmon Run, and this is produced from younger vines. So the Dr. Frank label is our premium label. Generally we have older vines, and the older vines produce less crop, so it's more costly to make the wines. However, the older vines, because there's less crop, we have more concentration, more flavors in the wine. And so that's kind of the difference between these labels: Dr. Frank, older estate grapes; Salmon Run, younger vines. And also in the Salmon Run, we add the heavier press fractions. So when we press the grapes, the lighter press fractions will go in the Dr. Frank label, but when we squeeze the grapes heavier, we get basically a higher pH in the juice and lower acidity. And so that makes this wine a bit more accessible, in the sense that it has lower acidity, higher pH. It's a great wine for kind of entry-level Finger Lakes consumers. And the residual sugar is also just a touch higher. From the dry, it's 0.6%. Now we're up to about 1.4% on the Salmon Run. Now the inspiration for this label, Salmon Run, came because my son and I, Kyle, we're both avid fishermen, and below me here on Keuka Lake it is loaded with game fish. So we have everything from lake trout all the way up to landlocked salmon. And these fish are wonderful to catch, but they're also great to pair with these wines. And so that was the inspiration behind the label, Salmon Run. So this is the value line at Dr. Frank's. And the Salmon Run is a wonderful wine that also would go with food, has a touch more residual sugar and also lower acidity. So it's more of an accessible Riesling. And it comes in this beautiful cobalt blue bottle. Not only has the wine won awards, but the packaging has won awards out in San Francisco at their wine competition. So now we're going to move on to our semi-dry Riesling, and this wine is quite a bit different in flavor profile. We source the grapes from Seneca Lake vineyards where we have deeper soils, and that produces a flavor profile of a fruitier Riesling. So this one has more apricots, more peaches. It finishes off with about 2.5% residual sugar, but it doesn't seem cloying, and that's because the acidity in the wine balances off that residual sugar. So this is a great wine for sipping, or you could serve it, for example, with spicier dishes. That's one of the more difficult wine pairings with Thai or Chinese or Indian, and that residual sugar cools the palate and will pair this wine with spicier dishes, or you can enjoy it on its own. It makes a wonderful sipping wine. And again, the deeper soils where this is grown on Seneca produce more apricots, more peach flavors in the wine. So it's quite a different flavor profile from the dry to the semi-dry. And then in between we have our Salmon Run, sort of what we would call medium dry. So that's the range of Rieslings that we have at Dr. Frank's. In addition, we also make a sparkling Riesling called Celebra, and then we have a late harvest or dessert wine called our Bunch Select Late Harvest, and that's made from raisin grapes, very sweet dessert wine. So you can see Riesling is very versatile, and it's one of my favorite grapes. It's the #1 white in Germany, and also very important in Alsace, and I believe the Finger Lakes region in the United States is the best area to grow and make these world-class Rieslings. So thanks for joining us, and pick up a glass of Riesling and Prosit. Thank you.